Hello, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. I'm Jim Quinn. My special guest is the Deputy Mayor of Commercial Township, Mike Vizzard. Mike, nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to be here again.
I don't think you've ever had a bad day.
Never.
Mike's always happy. Every time I see him, he's happy and smiling. And I have to tell you something, folks. This is one of the nicest men you will ever meet in your life. He has the electrical shop, GM Electric, right?
GM White Electric.
GM White Electric. And he's done electrical work for me in my other building. Everything gets done, perfect, well done. And what is amazing, this is a true story. It's been a couple years ago, I think now, Mike. My friend Joe Pepitone has a home on the Commercial Township side of Laurel Lake that he's renovating. And we were in the house for quite a while on a Saturday evening, and we come out, and Joe had forgotten he left his interior lights on in his vehicle. And he goes, "Oh, my God, Jim, what are we going to do? It's 10 o'clock Saturday night." I said, "I know the mayor." I call this guy. He says, "Jim, I'll be right over." Comes right over. Oh, honest to God, I don't think it took him 10 minutes. Comes over, opens the hood, jumps the vehicle. And I said, "What do I owe you?" He said, "Nothing. That's what friends are for." And that's the kind of guy this guy is, and I really value him. And we have a standing joke, though, I got to tell you, because someday he's going to have to come change my light bulb. When he was a teenager, right,
Yes.
13, 14, I, along with my my partner who passed away, Joe O'Donnell, put in cable television, because we knew Mike wanted to have cable, and those people in Laurel Lake and all that stuff, in Morristown, Port Norris. So we put a cable television system in, and Mike was at Jesse Bridge. Where was the tower?
Spring Garden Road.
Spring Garden Road.
Yeah, back then I think it was called James Pettit Road.
Yeah. So anyway, we put the tower back there, and our offices for the cable company was right at the corner of Haleyville and Marston,
Port Norris.
Yeah. Haleyville, Port Norris Road, right across from the cemetery. In fact, so that's where our cable offices were, and then upstairs we had the auction time show, and our television studio was upstairs as well. But Mike was a good boy. He went, he said, "You know what? I'm going to be an electrician. I want to practice." So he actually climbed up the tower. Did you go all the way?
No, I didn't quite make it all the way. The tower got too skinny for me.
Oh, that's true. It gets thinner as you go up top. But I keep kidding him, because now I have a 475-foot tower over at the WSNJ property. So anytime the light bulb needs changing, Mike said, "Don't call me, I'll call you." But anyway, and another thing, as we start the show talking about great things, Mike's daughter is engaged, I guess, to one of my good friends, Chuck Weibel's son.
Right, Jake.
And Jake is Jake Weibel. And I mean, there's another phenomenal family, great people. So what a good genes those two will have, because you got two wonderful people. More than that, I'm sure the wives are also involved, or the moms, I should say, are involved as well. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about Commercial Township. You are now the deputy mayor. You had been the mayor, and then did you just go to committee, or what's the process?
Yeah, I was mayor for 5 or 6 years, I don't remember now. And then last year, before we had our reorg meeting and everything, I decided that I was going to ask Ron Sutton to be the mayor, because he
had been the mayor.
He
for
had
a
been the
long time,
mayor,
right?
yes, right.
Yeah.
I just needed to back off a little bit. I had so much going on with my company, and
Right.
I felt as though I wasn't dedicating enough time to the township because of having my company, and I feel as though if you're going to be the mayor, then you need to dedicate the time, put the time in, and do what you need to do. Yeah. So I backed off and became a committeeman, and Joe Claudy was deputy mayor, and Ron Sutton was the mayor. And then this year, when we did our reorg, I'm a big one for giving everybody a chance.
Yeah, that is nice.
I don't believe in just having one.
Yeah.
I mean, me being it for 5 or 6 years,
Yeah.
I've learned that I don't need to be the mayor
Right.
to do what I
Yeah.
do as far as
Yeah.
being a committeeman for the township.
Right.
So I requested that Joe Claudy be the mayor this year, and he made me deputy mayor, when he requested I be deputy mayor. And then now Ron Sutton's a committeeman. But regardless, it doesn't matter. I mean, mayor's the title, deputy mayor's the title, committeeman's the title. We're all the same. We all get they have the same powers. There's nobody has more powers.
That's
and the only difference is the mayor runs the meeting. That's it. He's in charge of the meeting. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing with Millville too. It's The mayor has a department, and he runs the meetings, or he or she. That's it. I mean, when I was the mayor, this was a funny story. I don't know if you ever remember Gary Wadlinger, who was an attorney and judge. Really nice guy. He just passed away recently. A really nice man. So 1997, my dream came true. I always wanted to be the mayor of Millville, and I ran, and I won. So I'm at the Orr House, and Gary's there, and he says to me, "Hey, Jim Quinn, truthfully, you're not the mayor of Millville." And I said, "What?" He said, "You're not the mayor of Millville." I said, "Okay, who is?" He said, "Lou Thompson." And in essence, he was right, because Lou Thompson, longtime administrator, and I was there every day too, because I devoted the time, because that's what I wanted to do. But most mayors aren't there every day, and like in your situation, you had business. Mine business was running so good, I was down there and really getting into it and enjoying all the things I was able to do. But I think now in Vineland and Bridgeton, it's different. Vineland, the mayor is truly the mayor. Finucci, and in Bridgeton, Al Kelly is the mayor, because they have a mayor-council form of government.
Right.
Millville has one of the most antiquated forms of government in the state of New Jersey, called the commission form of government. And that's why each commissioner has their own department, and they have total control over the department. Now, most of the townships, Mike, are committee form of governments like you have,
correct,
right?
yes.
So you have a specific department, and Joe has one, and Ron has one?
Correct, yeah. Well, there's several departments I have, and several that, we
Right,
each have
yeah.
several departments.
Yeah. And one of the people that you guys lost, tell everybody about her, how wonderful she was. Your
Yeah,
administrator.
Hannah Nichols.
Hannah Nichols, yeah,
she,
thank you.
she was our long time clerk.
Yeah, 40-some years?
40-some years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she just passed away maybe a month ago now.
Yeah, what a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Did you know her husband, Johnny, Nick?
I never met him.
Okay.
I know his son very well.
Okay. Yeah, he was a good guy.
Yeah.
In fact, it was funny. Did you ever play softball?
I have played softball,
Okay.
yes.
Well, we had a league, and J&E Printing was one of the sponsors in the league. So I got to know John. I was president of the league, I think, and got to know John really well, and real good person. Of course, Hannah I got to know for a long time. When I was county freeholder, I would deal with her. And even the other thing I want to mention was how helpful she was, along with Dick Smith, who's a friend of yours,
Yes.
Bob Moore, and I'm trying to think who the third one. I don't think it was Fletcher at the time. There were 3 committee people when I got the cable television system in Commercial Township. I'm trying to think of. Oh no, I know the other one. I went to school with him. It's Bob Moore. I went to school with. So it was Bob Moore and Dick Smith, and there was another person. This would have been 1980. You were
Okay.
still in grammar school.
Mhm.
So anyway, they were very helpful. We had to go through the township to get the permission to build the cable system in the township. And Hannah, as the clerk, was the one that had to sign off and do a lot of things for us. So, yeah, just wonderful people. It's really a shame. I'm sorry about that, but she had a wonderful career with
She did,
with
yeah,
the township. Was well.
She calmed me down an awful lot when I first became the mayor. It was one thing being a committeeman, running for a committee, and then when they nominated me to be mayor, that's at the time, you're wondering if you can do the job, and so I was talking to Hannah about it, and her advice to me to calm me down was, just whatever decision I make it for the residents of the township. Don't make it because you want to do it or you think they want it. You do it because the residents of the township want it. So that's been the attitude that I've had the whole time. Everything I do is for the residents of the township.
Well, I mean, my gosh, you
Yeah,
cannot
that's-
jump the battery for Joe Pepitone, who's the taxpayer.
I mean, that's it. I mean, that
Commercial
was a
Township.
great piece of advice that she gave me. So.
Yeah, it is. And, trying to get the input. Oh, something, Mike, I wanted to mention. I just checked. You're not on Facebook?
I'm not. no.
Okay. Anyway, Lisa Orndorff, who was the mayor of Millville, she resigned because she was getting bashed on Facebook and other things were being said and all that kind of stuff. And I thought about it, and I was lucky during the period of time that I was the mayor of Millville from 97, 2009, Facebook wasn't real prevalent. And even when I was a county freeholder, it still hadn't come back in play. So I wasn't getting the abuse there on Facebook. But now it's funny, I just read recently somebody ripped me on Facebook about the Section 8 housing in the city of Millville is all my fault, which, first of all, was here when I was in high school, so it wasn't me that brought it here. And it's also a state program that the city doesn't really have any, you know, that has nothing to do with as that happens and as it comes about. But, you know, people, that's why you have the First Amendment. You can rip whoever you want, you can say whatever you want, and especially if you're an elected official, you know, you're pretty much sit there and smile and say, okay, whatever you say. Now, your solicitor is
Tom Seeley.
Tom Seeley. Tom is also in Lawrence Township, isn't
He is, yes.
he? Yeah. You know, there's another, like you were talking about earlier about rotating the positions. They do that. I mean, they really do. Even with the one fellow, Joe, is a Democrat, and they give him the seat, and they trying to think of his last. I'll think of it down the road, but you know, you got Skip Bowman as the mayor.
Okay, yes.
You know, and then it's I don't know who. It's the guy that's involved with their fire company. I can't think of him either, but anyway, they rotate the three positions, and I think that probably is a good thing.
Yeah, I think it works best. I mean, it gives everybody a chance to sit in the hot seat for a year. You know,
Yeah,
and,
that's how they like it.
yeah, and the other two know what he's going through. So, you know, I think it's a better way of working together. You know, I really do.
Yeah, and I know you probably make $50,000 a year.
Oh, yeah,
you know.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, people don't realize how little.
Yeah.
What do you make?
Well, I got to be honest. I don't know what the rate is now
Okay.
because I haven't taken a raise ever since I've been in Township Committee.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know
What
what
it
it
is,
is
yeah.
right now. But I do make $13,000 a year
Oh, that's good.
doing the job. That's what I
Yeah.
make.
Well, that's, believe it or not, this is true story. When I first got elected freeholder in Cumberland County, 1983, we got $8,000 a year. It stayed that way until I became director in 1990, and I said, "This is crazy." So I upped it to 15,000. Well, it stayed there for the time I was director. I lost. I was out, and I finally came back in 2017. I think I came back, and guess what? It was still 15,000. I said, you know, this position deserves a little bit more than that. I know no one does it for the money, but by goodness sakes, there is a fairness factor that needs to be
Sure,
done.
right.
Millville's still at 10,000. That's where they've been for 30 or 40 years. You know, it's, I mean, you know, people don't, you do. You put a lot of time, a lot of effort into it. And, you know, wherever the people get, you deserve it, that's for sure. But, so what's happened in the last year or so in Commercial Township that you could tell us about as far as progress or anything happening?
Well, Ron Sutton looked into, while he was mayor, he looked into a program for bringing solar to our old landfill.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Now, that's something that we have looked into for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years that I've been there. You know, I've wanted to do that as well. But there's another company that was doing it in Woodbine. And of course, Ron is friends with the mayor in Woodbine.
The mayor of Woodbine's
yeah,
at his
that's
house.
right.
He's taking free dinners every night.
but anyway, he got the inside scoop on this other company
Okay.
that now we don't have solar there yet, but it looks promising. But the only thing I can say about that is it's looked promising in the past too, and it still hasn't happened. So I don't know if it's really going to happen or not, but
That would be
I
wonderful.
hope it does.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be great to have that there.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Woodbine, Bill Pikaliski is a good friend of mine. We go out to dinner, go to ball games, and stuff like that. He is so funny. He's been the mayor of Woodbine probably for 25 years or so, and he doesn't take no for an answer. He goes up to Trenton, and he's very persistent. Let's say that. He is very persistent. And, of course, they have an airport in Woodbine,
do,
too.
yeah.
He just got a big grant from Cory Booker, a federal grant for monies for the airport. And, you know, it's interesting. I mean, I sort of liked years back downtown Main Street, Port Norris, but that's gone backwards, you know, I mean, other than
Yes, right.
the market and that type of stuff. But, you know, you had some really neat shops and restaurants and all that kind of stuff that happened there. But with time, it's gone by the wayside. And I actually, this is interesting with Woodbine. I actually was hired as a speech therapist there back in the 70s, and they did it over the phone, so I didn't even see the school. So I expected the school to look like the offices I had in Haleyville, which was an old Haleyville school in Commercial Township. And Mike, I got there, and it was like a beautiful new brick school. And this is like early 70s. I said, wow, this is impressive. And the downtown was active and things. Now I'm sure it's not quite as active as it was before. But if you go through Woodbine, folks, you'll see all these pavers in the intersections. Bill got the grants, and it's just amazing what he's been, bike paths and all these good things that he was able to do for Woodbine. And now you went to Millville High, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Okay. And the kids, when Mike went, when I went, the students from Woodbine came to Millville.
Mm-hmm.
They just recently switched over to Middle Township, which makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It does,
closer
yes.
than Millville.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to tell you, we were lucky. I had some great athletes. Our best football player on my class was Freddie Goff. He was from Woodbine, and a lot of good athletes came out of Woodbine as well. And Commercial Township, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had those Jameson boys.
That's right, yeah.
Do you ever see him?
Yeah, once in a while I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I see him riding around. or
How many
something.
years did Fletcher put on?
I'm pretty sure it was 20.
That's
It could have
great.
been 19, but it could have been 20.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right there. Something.
Yeah, another good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, like you talked about, a lot of good people in Commercial Township, and we'll talk more about them and all the things happening in Commercial Township right after these messages.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is your hometown team for banking. We offer banking which is small town focused and customer based. We know you and we are for you. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is a nonprofit and federally insured. Solid as a Thunderbolt airplane, we are your team. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union, 1601 Cedar Street.
Hi, I'm Bob Millard, President of Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union. Come see us and experience banking as it used to be.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is the Deputy Mayor of Commercial Township, Mike Vizzard. And Mike, this is your 7th year?
7th, yes.
7th year.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being...
I'm sorry, no, this is my 3rd term. So I'm in my 9th year.
9th year, okay. That's even longer.
Mm-hmm.
I remember coming down for your swearing-in ceremonies. It's time flies, doesn't it, when that goes by. Boy, one of the things I have to tell you, folks, that Mike was a big supporter in getting started was the beautiful park like a memorial park for the veterans that served in Commercial Township. That was a very nice event.
Yeah, it was. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. That's we're all very proud of that, and that I'll give credit where credit's due. That was actually a Ron Sutton vision back when he was on the committee before now. That was his vision for that.
That's good. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got to see if Bill Pickoliski will ever take me to Ron's for dinner. I have to say to Ron, always liked Ron, and his daughter-in-law is the principal at Millville Senior High School. and does a fabulous job, Jamie Sutton. So, of course, she was part of the Pirelli family.
Pirelli, yes.
Did you know Jim Pirelli?
I did not.
No, you're too young. Jim Pirelli was a very active person in Commercial Township, and he pushed for the bypass road. When you come over the Morristown Bridge, that bypass road, I was in charge of Public Works at the time, and he kept after us, and we ended up building the bypass road, which made sense because, years back, before that happened, you come over the Morristown Bridge, you make a left, and you're in a small, beautiful downtown. And Morristown is a beautiful town, but it's tough to maneuver trucks, and the neighbors there weren't happy with it. And I think I've told you this is one thing. I always wanted to ride on a fire truck. Well, thanks to Jim Pirelli, he brought the Morristown fire truck, and he and I, and I'm sure other officials, whoever was in office at the time, got to ride down the first people to ride on the new bypass road. So I always thank him and remember him. And Carol's still involved. Well, she was on the Board of Education.
I think she still is.
Uh-huh.
I think so.
School board. Yeah. She dedicated a lot of time and effort. Wonderful family. But did you know Bob Moore?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
He was one of my teachers.
Oh, that's right. I
Yes.
forgot. Yeah, Port Norris. Yeah. He and I tell you, there's another nice story. Talk about a great family. Bob's dad, John Moore, John was his name, was my Boy Scout leader at St. Mary Magdalene School in Millville. And we were so blessed to have him, Mr. Goldstein, and Mr. Mackin, the three guys that were there. And we had so many things we did, so much fun, and going to Camp Kimball and all the different jamborees and things like that. So I always remember his father. And, of course, Bob and I are about the same age. We went to St. Mary's together. And, we both taught. What grade did he teach, Mike?
Seventh, I think. It was either sixth or seventh.
Yeah, I taught seventh grade math and science for a couple of years at the junior high. Now, one of my very best friends, except he stole my girlfriend away from me. Other than that, Dick Smith is a phenomenal guy, and Dick and I have been friends forever, since high school. And did Dick teach eighth grade?
I think it was eighth grade, yes. Eighth grade math, maybe seventh grade math, I can't remember now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had him in school as well. Yeah.
He was the mayor.
He was, yeah. I used to idolize that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
See, you followed in his
Yeah,
footsteps,
yeah.
which is nice.
In fact, Marie and I, my girlfriend Marie, we were there at his house this past Sunday night playing pinochle.
Oh,
Or
no
Saturday
kidding.
night playing pinochle.
That's good. Tell him I said hello when
I
you see
will.
him. Yeah, and you know what? Tell everybody his passion in Commercial Township is the Historical Society.
Oh yeah. He sort of backed off from that now.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Okay.
he's not as active into it as he used to be, but the Historical Society was his baby for a while. He got a lot of stuff accomplished there.
Now, there were a lot of millionaires in Port Norris.
Port Norris, had the most. I might get this wrong, but I'm going to say the most millionaires per mile.
I'm sure. Per square mile.
And I'm thinking it was anywhere in the country. At that one time.
Yeah, and tell everybody why they were so rich.
Oh, the oysters, the oyster boats, and the oyster industry. Yeah, that was. I mean, I could just read about what it was. I mean, naturally, I wasn't around at that time, but I just really wished that kind of industry was still around. I mean, oyster industry is still there, but it's regulated. So
is that what it is?
Yeah,
I wonder. Tony Novak is my accountant and a friend of mine, and of course he's over at Money Island. A lot of oyster stuff is trying to be done there as well. I often wonder why it's not, booming like it was back in the 50s, 40s, whatever. In fact, one of the fellows that works part-time for me is a Robbins, and he told me they used to call his grandpa Money.
Oh,
So
okay,
grandpa was in the oyster
right,
business. Grandpa's still alive, I think in his late 80s or whatever. And there were some beautiful homes in Port Norris, too.
Yeah.
Still are. I mean,
There
the
are,
older
yeah.
homes. And the good thing, Mike, and I guess it's maybe because of you, but I'm sure part of it is the state police coverage you get and stuff. I don't read about shootings in Port Norris like I do other places,
Yes.
close by places,
Right.
a few blocks away places, I mean, it's really good. I mean, to yours and Ron's and Joe Cloudy's credit and the people before you. The other nice thing, and this was an interesting story, when I first got elected mayor of Millville, I was on the New Jersey Conference of Mayors we'd go to their meetings. So one night we're driving up to Trenton or whatever, and George Garrison was the mayor of Commercial Township. So it was George and myself and Doug Rainier. We went together. So, I'm just getting in as the mayor of Millville. So I said to them, I said, what's your budget? And let's say they said $500,000 or whatever. And I said, are you kidding me? And George said, Jim, don't forget, we have state police. We don't have to pay for the police department. And that's a blessing. Plus, you house the state police in Port Norris, which is really nice as well. Because when I lived in Morris River Township, it took them a while to get over to Dorchester. They had a hard time finding that for a while. But, they do an outstanding job, no question about it. And that helps a lot, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Budget. And the other thing, too, when you look at not having a police department of your own, I know when I was the mayor of Millville, we had lawsuits brought against us, against somebody in the police department, whatever it might be. We would get those lawsuits that we'd have to deal with. And speaking of lawsuits, one thing I was hoping when I was still on a county freeholder board at the time, George Castellini and I were talking about, we wanted to outsource the jail. And that time it looked like Salem or Atlantic County might be interested, and then Gloucester County got in with Salem County and saved millions of dollars by having just paying Salem County to house their prisoners. The cost when I was back on the freeholder board was $32 million a year to operate the jail, and on top of that, you had lawsuit. They're still settling lawsuits from that situation. So boy, that's where it's nice if you can, outsource something. Really, I know a lot of people, it takes jobs, but those people would be hired at wherever the outsourcing would be, I'm sure. So just some of the things that makes government tough. What do you find is the toughest thing with you for government and commercial township? You can't go jump everybody's battery?
No, I can't, no. I don't know that there's really a one thing that's tough. I just find that it's tough trying to please everybody.
That's impossible.
But you like to kind of think in your mind you are pleasing everybody.
That's true.
And then you find out that somebody is upset with you, for doing what you did, but 90 people are okay with it, But,
let me ask you something. I've said recently, and even when I was there, Millville commissioners get beat up every single meeting with many people get up there criticizing. And they did when I was there too. This is not just this group. And I thought, okay, this is these people's lives and this is what they want to do. Do you get many come out?
Several. Not many, but several. Okay. Several people come out. And I keep telling them, bring more people out,
Yeah.
You have an opinion, say it. Come and say it.
Right. Well, and at least you get to know what items that they're concerned about. You can certainly address them with your department. Now, how many employees do you think Commercial Township has, Mike?
I'm going to say approximately 14.
Good.
Yeah.
And you have your own road department, right?
We do, yes.
Okay.
We have the best in South Jersey.
Oh, no question about that. I believe you. Who heads up the road department?
Clint Miller. He's the.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's the superintendent, I guess it's called for the.
So, what other departments do you have that you would have some employees in besides the road department?
Well, naturally, we got the tax assessor, and then we got the.
That's my buddy.
Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Brian.
I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Rosenberg.
Yes.
He was Millville. He is Millville's, and he's able to do others. Right. He does Upper Deerfield too, because I have to pay taxes in Upper Deerfield.
Gotcha.
So I talked to him up there as well.
Yeah, and then we have the tax collector's office. That's Leslie. Leslie does a very good job with that. And of course, we have our new.
Who's your new administrator?
Heather Miller.
Heather Miller.
Yep, Clint's wife now.
Oh, okay.
It was Heather Sparks, and they recently got married. And then we have our CFO, Pam. Pam Humphreys. Yeah, she is our CFO.
Okay. Boy, I tell you, the county's had trouble keeping a CFO.
Yeah.
There's one, a new one, Sarah was telling
Mm-hmm.
me, came on board. I like the Ridgeway guy, Jeff Ridgeway.
I met him a couple times before he was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what he was or where I met him at. I can't remember now.
But for a guy that was good with numbers, he also had a great sense of humor. I enjoyed listening to him at the meetings and, doing all the things that the CFO does. But now he got a better job in Salem County.
Right.
So, that is a position. Jim Sarr was telling me they did get 10 applicants, but of the 10 applicants, only 3 were qualified.
Yes.
They ended up having to hire somebody out of North Jersey to do the CFO job. And, if you're thinking about wanting to get a job in government, folks, and you're going, a young person going to college, you may want to look into getting that and getting certified as a chief financial officer is what a CFO is.
And you're talking, when you say qualified, you're talking about the QPA, right? The Qualified Purchasing Agent?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very
tough.
That's tough, but it's a good thing to have for your municipality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they all need it. And don't
Yeah,
forget, there's
yeah.
565 municipalities in the state of New Jersey, so there's lots of openings, and especially for like Cumberland County and the townships and things like that. It's a good job because there's so few people that do it. I was lucky in Millville. I had Marcy Shepard, and she was a sweetheart. She was with the county, and I don't know if we stole her from the county or whatever, but she came over, and the whole time I was there, she was our CFO and did a very, very good job.
I'm sorry?
No, it's very good.
I was going to say we have our own construction department too.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have the state inspection agencies like some municipalities
that's
do.
good.
We have our own,
That's
our own
great.
construction.
Who heads
and
that up?
Well, Stephanie. Stephanie is well, when you say who heads it up, is it who's that would be Joe Claudy's department. If
Okay.
that's what you're saying.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
Stephanie is in charge of that whole thing. She takes care of all that.
That's really good.
Then of course we got Dan who does the zoning and ordinances and stuff like that.
Now, you have a zoning planning board together, right?
Yes. mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
And
Land,
that's,
land use. Yeah. land
thank you.
use,
Yeah, I
mhm.
was trying to look at the name for that, which is, something, Mike, do you have any idea how many living homes, I guess I'm saying, properties in Commercial Township? I mean, I don't think people realize, and I've told this before, if it wasn't for Commercial Township and Fortescue, people down there wouldn't have had cable. They were the only thing that saved us because the FCC requires you have to serve people, and you have to go so many miles, and and it was, I don't know, at that time $10,000 a mile to build it, and Commercial Townships as well. Morristown was good too. Port Norris wasn't bad either, but Laurel Lake was super because they're small lots and you just go 1, 2, 3, that type of thing. But I often wondered about how many homes there are in Commercial Township.
I'm going to guess there's probably 3,500 homes.
Okay.
I know the population has dropped. The 2020 census has the population around 4,900 now,
Okay.
under 5,000. The schools all consolidated into one
one
school
now,
now.
they've
Port
got a
Norris
school,
school's
right.
closed now, so
Yeah.
they've consolidated. I'm hoping within the next 5 to 10 years we have to build an addition to the school.
Well,
I want to get more people down there.
And let me tell you, as we've talked about, Commercial Township has so many things to offer, folks. The beautiful Morris River, the Laurel Lake, and then Mike told me the other lake that I never knew about, but Mike told me this beautiful lake is there.
Lake Audrey.
Thank
yes.
you, Lake Audrey.
Mhm.
I can't remember that, and you know who was there? Who's a friend of mine, and has a beautiful, beautiful home. There is Frank Carpino. Have you met Frank?
I have not.
Oh, you got to. Frank could build 50 if you want, 100 homes, whatever you want.
I do believe I ran into him, but to actually sit down and talk to
yeah.
him and everything, I have not done that. But
Well, Frank started, when I was the mayor, they built Liberty Village on South Delsey Drive in Millville. And in all honesty, I'm looking at it like, this isn't that great of a deal because we only get the lot fee. The property owner gets the fees that the modular homes get are there. But I'm telling you what, you take a look at Liberty Village, and a friend of mine, Barbara McCarson, lives down there, loves it. Everybody I know lives down there, loves it. And then what Frank did was he went up to see my cousin Joey Baruffi, who is the mayor of Buna Borough and Landisville and in Minatola, and he built, I think, about a 40-unit place in Minatola, and now he's building another 37 homes in Landisville, and they sell out like that. They're beautiful. They're affordable because you're not buying the land. So you're buying the modular, very affordable. And you have a lot fee, like, you have to pay to have the land on the lot, but it's affordable for especially seniors, and I think it is 55 and over anyway that has to be there. But he has a gorgeous home. He's on the Millville side of Laurel Lake with his home, but he's been very successful, and I just really admire the guy. So to introduce you to him, maybe get him to build some houses on the commercial township side. But that's something, the value on the commercial township side too, folks. In Laurel Lake, they are going up. Like I said, my friend Joe Pepitone has a home that he's renovating and will put up for sale. But the house right down the street from him went for $250,000. And that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is good, and we've worked hard in trying to consolidate the lots and to create the new zoning to where you're not putting a septic right on top of somebody's well anymore. Yeah, we're trying to make it a good buildable area.
Yeah, well, and again, you got the lake right there. It's beautiful. Laurel Lake's one of my favorite lakes. I always hung out there as a kid. I get down when I was 16, 17, 18, and always enjoyed the lake, the clubhouse, and the people. My goodness, I had so many friends that I went to high school with that lived, both sides of Laurel Lake as well. So that was one of the blessings we had from Laurel Lake. And we are lucky in Cumberland County. When you think about it, of course, I live near Union Lake, and as we mentioned, the Morris River, and we also have, which you guys share some of that, it's the Delaware Bay.
Yes,
as well. But we got to get more restaurants open.
Yes, we do need restaurants, but we need more people to support the restaurants. So we need people to move to the commercial township.
Yeah, which comes first, the restaurant or the people. You ever go to the Morris River Diner?
I have, yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite places to go, and and actually, the Red-Eyed Crab is just in down Township, right? Just over the Port Norris line. Right. That's another really nice restaurant, beautiful view. And, as I say, I've always had great memories of Port Norris and Morristown and Laurel Lake and, the area that comprises Commercial Township. We'll be back to talk with Mike Vizzard, Deputy Mayor of Commercial Township, right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
C&H Disposal Service has provided customers with the best customer service possible since 1981. C&H Disposal Service provides trash removal, dumpster rentals, septic cleaning, repair and installation, septic system certifications, portable restroom rentals, and demolition. With great customer service and competitive pricing, C&H Disposal Service has you covered at the home and on the job. C&H Disposal Service. Stick with the best.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
Hi folks, Joe Namath here. And if you're having a hard time hearing, call MD Hearing, because they changed my life and they can change yours too. I was wearing expensive hearing aids for years until a good friend of mine told me about MD Hearing. I bought a pair of the hearing aids with no doctor visit, no prescription, and no hassle. I got fitted right over the phone, and I've never had a better pair of hearing aids. I'm even wearing them right now.
Call now and get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing aids for just $297 with a free portable charging case and free shipping. The rechargeable Neo is nearly invisible with its tiny in-the-air canal design, and you can get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing aids with a 45-day risk-free trial, free shipping, and free lifetime U.S.-based support for only $297.
Call my friends at MD Hearing and get the over-the-counter hearing aids that I use for you.
Call 855-993-1930.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Jim Quinn along with Mike Vizzard, who is the Deputy Mayor of Commercial Township. And as I think growing up myself, as I said, I used to go to Laurel Lake Clubhouse, an awful lot of wonderful friends down there. And, of course, that's on the Millville side, but the lake is both sides. And I had a friend, Mary Moyer, who had a home right on the Commercial Township side of Laurel Lake. She volunteered as chairman of the Cumberland County Library. And she was also a librarian at Delsea Regional High School. And she, again, had a real nice location right on the water. And boy, you know what, Mike? People love water view if they can get that. And like we talked about, folks, you got the bay, you got the river, you got 2 lakes. Now, while we're on break, Mike, tell everybody about Lake Audrey, what you were saying.
Yeah, we put a walking path around our sports fields and the senior center. And right across from that is a path that takes you to Lake Audrey. And Lake Audrey is state-owned. The state owns that. So my ultimate goal was to contact whoever I have to, which I don't know who yet, but I would like to be able to extend that walking path around Lake Audrey. To give the residents of Commercial Township, a nice view of walking around that lake. On an asphalt.
Geez, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, an asphalted path, instead of a dirt path, and. Just incorporate it into the path that we've already built in the sports complex. And I think it would be a nice thing. I think it would be a nice thing for everybody to take the walks.
I'm sure it would be. Now, I guess Lake Audrey, do people swim in the lake?
Some people have, they're not supposed to, though.
Right,
Yeah,
okay,
it's a fishing lake, but I've seen people swimming in there, too.
So that's another question. I mean, I've been to Mary's on the Commercial Township side. She's had, like, crab fests and stuff out front, and then we get down to the dock. But I guess swimming at your own risk is what happens.
There is a couple locations on both the Millville side and commercial side.
I know the Millville side location. Yeah.
That you can do swimming.
Okay.
They do. There's no lifeguards, but
Okay.
it's a public beach, where people can go swimming.
Yeah, that's good.
In fact, when I was a little boy, my mom used to take me there. During the summer, naturally, on weekends or something like that.
So,
but it's a cedar lake, so it's cedar water.
Yeah, right,
So when you get out, you're going to have a little brown on you.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me about your mom and dad.
My dad passed away 3 years ago now.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did Dad do?
He was a truck driver.
That's what my dad was.
Yep, he had his own company there for a while. I mean,
my dad did too.
JP and Sons Trucking. I can still remember it.
What did he haul?
Most of the time it was sand,
Yeah,
sandstone, bulk
yeah.
materials,
Yeah.
something like that.
Was it like 10-ton dumps or the big one?
It was the big ones. He had
Tractor
20
trailer?
ton, tractor
Wow.
trailer. Yeah.
My dad only had 10. Your dad was better.
But yeah, that's when I started the apprenticeship, I was driving a truck for him when my apprenticeship with the electrical union, and there was times when I would take the truck for him to the school at the apprenticeship school, and I'd get done at school at 9 o'clock, and I'd jump in the truck and head to Lancaster, and
I see.
yeah, drop a load of sand and bring a load of stone back, and
Yeah, that was funny. There's a lot of similarities, although my dad had the 10-ton straight dump, not the tractor trailer. But we would end up going to places where the big trucks couldn't get in. Remember, Philadelphia Bronze and Brass was like on a one-way street in Philadelphia. And I remember going down the street, and they would open some metal plates, and I would dump, and then they would have to push it all in. But the funniest story I ever had, you didn't have to do bag sand, right?
no.
My father, with a 10-ton, a lot of his was bag sand, 100-pound bags, and 100 bags to get the 10-ton. And normally, I was about 14, 15, 16, whatever, helping him. And this one time, we had to go to New York City, to St. Patrick's Cathedral or whatever it was. And he dealt a lot with Myers and Waters, who did sandblasting in the big buildings. You understand that, and how they cleaned them. So we had to go to the church, and we had to get in at 3 in the morning because you had to get out of New York by 5 or 6. You know, you never get out. Plus, you know, we had to be on the sidewalk and all that. So we get there. Our system in the past would be, I'd get down at the bottom of the tailgate. Dad would raise the body a little bit to get the point where he could slide them down to me. I'd grab them, and I'd usually walk 3 or 4 steps and then drop the bag. Well, this place, I had to go up 3 steps to a vestibule to drop the bag. And Mike, that was hard. Man. That was really hard. My dad shared the time with me, but we were bringing wet. It's what a difference it makes to take 100 pounds and go up 3 steps rather than take the 100 pounds, walk and drop it after 3 steps. So it's like, I'll never forget that. It was like a tough one. But it's funny, our dads did similar. My father started at 19 with his own trucking business, and my father, did well. He really. This is a funny story about my father. A lot of people know him, and people liked him. He had a sense of humor. He was funny, and his dad and granddad owned a piece of property, basically right next to Luciano's junkyard driveway. So my house was close to Route 47. That's where I grew up. And then out back, he had his trucks, and he had 5 trucks, and he had a gas pump, and the sheds where the stuff would be. And as he was getting older, he started cutting back to like 2 trucks and things. Well, anyway, a guy came to him one day, and this must have been late 80s, early 90s maybe, and said to him, "Mr. Quinn, I want to buy your property." He had 5 acres of land there. And my dad goes, "No way, no way. This was my grandfather's property. It's my dad's property. It's my property. No way am I going to sell this property." So the guy said, "Mr. Quinn, could I at least come in and sit down and show you an offer?" All right. Well, my mother's name was Betty, so my oldest son happened to be there. He was maybe 12 at the time. So the guy comes in and whips out an offer of $500,000. And my father looks at my mother and says, "Betty, pack the bags, we're out of here." And they were. and that, so where you see Walmart was where I used to go out and play. That was my family's property, that whole, well, most of the area. It was 5 acres of land back from there. So he did well, and then he actually bought a house that I was living in on Hillside Avenue, a very nice house there, and he lived to be 84. He used to go walk the mall, and the lady at the mall to this day still says, "Oh, God, we loved your father." And he was very charismatic, and they called him the mayor of the mall. And he would walk, and all these guys and people would walk with him. Then he'd go sit and have coffee, and that was his entertainment. See, that's something. Let me ask you. I've got problems, and I tell people the truth. I'm never going to retire. I'm going to drop dead right here on the set, and then I'm going to have Christie Funeral Home come and get me, and that's the way it'll end. I love Phillies, and Mike and I go to Phillies games. I love the Eagles, but I don't play golf. I don't fish. I've got ADD. I can't stand just sitting there with a fishing rod. It's not enough activity for me. So, well, you probably have more things going for you, though, right? What do you like to do?
I like to deer hunt.
You kill Bambi. Okay.
I do, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I go to Newfoundland once in a while. Dick Smith got me into going to Newfoundland, moose hunting and caribou hunting up there.
No kidding.
Yeah,
that's cool. I've been to Newfoundland.
Yeah, I love it up there. It's a nice place.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that'll be our next state.
Yeah,
the first state.
Yeah. So
that's neat.
Yeah, I used to play baseball and softball.
Yeah, I did too.
But I really enjoy watching baseball. I like.
Yeah,
always,
I know you do.
Mike Schmidt's always been my hero.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that too, the baseball thing, I coached Little League in Millville. My oldest son was 9, 10, 11, 12. And anyway, I coached Ritter construction team, and we had the best team in the city. We won American League, then we played the National League, we beat them. So those days, which they ought to bring this back, Millville should, especially I'll tell Bon Romanick, that we had Millville night at that stadium. So in 1980, we won the city championship, and I think that's when the Phillies won the World Series. But what I was saying was they had Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, Larry Boa, all those people, and the kids got to go down on the field. I got to hit ground balls to them. They got to meet the players, and to this day, well, these guys are in their 50s now. one of them I did a story on. He said, Mr. Quinn, the highlight of my career, of my life basically, was meeting Pete Rose, down at that stadium. And it's impressive. Like you said, you love Mike Schmidt. What a great ball player he was. And the Sundays with Schmidt, sometimes
Yes,
he's on TV
that's
as
right.
well.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yep.
But see, you've never been a golfer, huh?
No, I tried it. It just didn't suit me.
No, me either. I can't. But I'll tell you what, the Mike Trout golf tournament, I had my last guest that was on, or one of my last guests, got a membership in the golf course.
Okay.
So he's got some money.
Yeah.
Now he's talking to one of my advertisers today. He and his son both got memberships there. So he's doing well too.
Right.
For you and I don't know. Maybe we could go to the Basilica Sand one or whatever. But
I don't mind watching it. I'll sit down and watch some golf, because, having done it, I can appreciate how hard it actually is.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. I never really got into golf.
No, me either. I've played it a few times,
Right,
but
right.
I'm not very good. I don't know. It's just one of those things. But I know a lot of people do, and they love it. That's the retirement. There's a guy named Bud McAvoy who was one of the best athletes ever in the city of Millville, and he's in his 90s. He still plays and shoots below his age.
I know the McAvoy name. I went to school with some McAvoys, but I can't remember who they were. I just remember that name.
Yeah, good people. We'll be back with Deputy Mayor Mike Vizzard from Commercial Township right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is your hometown team for banking. We offer banking which is small town focused and customer based. We know you and we are for you. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is a nonprofit and federally insured. Solid as a Thunderbolt airplane, we are your team. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union, 1601 Cedar Street.
Hi, I'm Bob Millard, President of Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union. Come see us and experience banking as it used to be.
C&H Disposal Service has provided customers with the best customer service possible since 1981. C&H Disposal Service provides trash removal, dumpster rentals, septic cleaning, repair and installation, septic system certifications, portable restroom rentals, and demolition. With great customer service and competitive pricing, C&H Disposal Service has you covered at the home and on the job. C&H Disposal Service. Stick with the best.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is the Deputy Mayor of Commercial Township, Mike Vizzard. And Mike has been 9 years now, right?
Yes.
Like you said, this is your...
I'm in my 9th year.
Ninth year, right. And time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, that's right.
It goes by quickly. And you're blessed to have your friend Marie. She's very supportive of you and is a wonderful lady. So that's a good thing. You'll be able to get that support. You need that, whoever's married or a significant other to elected official. They have to be understanding and patient. And sometimes I'm sure it's hard when people attack you for them to not get upset about it.
She doesn't like it. No, she does not like it.
I remember same in my situation too. It's like, okay, why are they picking on you? But it's so it's Ron Sutton, Joe Cloudy, and you are the 3 people. And I liked your idea of where you rotated. I know Ron was mayor last year, right?
Correct,
And
yes.
Joe Cloudy this year. And then you're the deputy mayor this year as well. And tell me about Joe Cloudy. I don't know him.
Oh, he's a very good guy. He's got the township's interests at heart too. You could tell that he just wants to do a good job for everybody. He's very dedicated to doing what's right for Commercial Township.
And he's in Haleyville?
He lives in Haleyville, yes.
I don't know if there was some There's people in Haleyville that donate their time to the homeless up here in Millville, and no, I don't know. I guess it's not Joe's family, but neighbor.
It could be. I remember Joe telling
What's
me.
his wife's name? No.
Denise, I think.
Could be, yeah.
I shouldn't say. I don't remember. Yeah.
But anyway, that's good. I mean, you know, and believe me, nobody does it for the money. They do it for the goodness of the township to make it a better place. And had you always thought you'd like to serve in city, township committee government?
No, not always. No.
What got you interested?
There was. I went to a couple of township meetings, and there was some things going on that I felt as though were wrong. You know, it wasn't being done for the right reasons. Right. And so I decided to run, try to change that. And I won, and I changed that.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing, you know. And I know you, Mike, it wasn't any personal thing. It was for the betterment of the township, because I know that's always been your concern, the people and the township and what's offered there. But again, folks, Commercial Township has so much to offer. Oh, this was an interesting story. I was at the Hotel Charlesworth, and a couple, a man and woman, husband and wife, were sitting next to me. They were from Wayne, New Jersey, and they came down to have dinner at the Hotel Charlesworth. They were staying there overnight, and they wanted to see Fortescue. And then the next day, they were going over to Mike's Township, to Port Norris, to ride on the Mirwalk.
Oh, okay, good.
So, I mean, this is people from, 2.5 hour ride away. Yes. But they had heard, which I was so glad to hear, they said, we heard this is the other Jersey Shore. And I said, it is, yeah. This is the one. And like you talked about Fortescue, those prices are going to be skyrocketing in Fortescue. Right. You know, as that sewer line's coming in.
That's right.
Can you imagine if you had sewer?
Well, we're pushing for it. We're trying to go about it the right way. You know, that can only help improve the values of the properties in the township. Yeah. And not only that, but the living. You know, the value of your living. Yeah,
that's true. And as you said, with the septic system and the wells, you got to have them so far apart, obviously.
Exactly.
And you know, this would be able to make it a lot better. You wouldn't have to worry about the lot size, because you'd have sewer.
Correct.
Is there water coming soon?
We are trying to, yes.
Millville's supposed to be.
We're trying to work out a deal with Millville. It's still in the works. We haven't given up yet.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Mike, thanks, man, for coming in. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thanks for being such a good friend. Mike Vizzard, one of the nicest people I know, and certainly is the deputy mayor of Commercial Township, has been my guest this evening. I want to thank George Cuccia for producing the program for us, and I thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care, folks. Have a good night.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.